Doggo.
How is everyone doing tonight? I actually had time to prep everything today, so it's not all last minute, and I actually have batteries charged, and we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot for now. So how's everyone doing tonight? We're gonna have a fun night. we've got this, the Mingda Magician X. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We're going to be unboxing it. We're going to be doing a deep dive. We're going to actually probably spend more time taking it apart than putting it together. I've tried to stay in a bubble because I know a few other reviewers, Chris's Basement, Joel, 3D Printing Nerd, have had their hands on this already. And I know they're not thinking too highly of it. I purposely tried to avoid what they've said. I haven't watched Chris's Basement. I've heard some stuff, obviously. But I am gonna give it a fair chance. Preface, because blah blah blah, people will assume I'm not being paid. They have sent me this to review. Actually, not even to the review. They sent it to me to unbox on stream. No money. All the words and opinions are my own. Yada yada yada. You know the drill. So yeah, we'll get to that. I've got some stuff because there's a few things I want to check. So I got my Mitutoyo InterRapid, which, believe me, it makes sense. I've got a bunch of stuff. We're gonna be doing some actual metrology work with this thing, so this will be fun. But before that, flashback to last week. We installed the new Hotend on this guy, and then we printed something. This is what we printed. This is in the Fadis glass fiber ultra PA nylon, and hope it focuses. But this was the collapsing katana that I printed on this, which unfortunately didn't work. Retraction settings weren't the cleanest, and when I tried to get the blade in motion, unfortunately it broke. So yeah. However, why do something once when you could do it twice? And when you have multiple printers, it's easy to do it again. So, this fun little sword is a print-in-place collapsible model. And if you want to get this and print one of your own, you can, of course my son's been playing with it all week, and he's already broken it twice. So I've had to put it back together twice. If you want to get one of your own, link in the description below from Thangs, who is sponsoring the show tonight. If you want to get that model or any of the other almost 3 million models that Thangs has, make sure you check that link in the description. All kinds of models, geometric search. You can even view what you're going to print on your phone in augmented reality before you print it to see if it'll gel with all the other benchies on your shelf. So yeah. Save the pieces. I know. I made the mistake. There's a video on my Twitter, which if you're not following me on Twitter, at 3DPNero, where I printed it and I gave it to my son. He loves it, but he actually has more fun doing the swishy thing and letting the sword like fly out and collapsing it. And unfortunately, he's already broken it like 3 times, and I've had to put it back together. So, yeah. So I'm probably going to print another one of them because he actually really liked that. So anyways. Down to business. This is the Mingda Magician X. This is it. Now, it's hard to find, like they've emailed me directly. They're like, hey, do you want to review our printer? I'm like, if you send me the printer, I will take a look at it on stream. Why not? So they sent it to me. This was like a couple weeks ago. I was sent this, I believe, before Joel even got his. So they're all from the same batch, I believe. Just Canada, so it took forever. It's V-wheel bed flinger. Same size as an Ender 3. It's got a clicky tool head for bed leveling, glass plate, yada yada. We've all seen this. Now the question is it any good? Is it good value? Because I'm getting to the point now where if people complain about cheap printers having cheap components, that's on you guys. People keep wanting cheaper printers, and printer companies are keep making cheaper printers to cut costs so they can jam more into a printer for the same price or less price. So the cheap printer is made of cheap things. Oh my God, who would have thought it? So we'll see. I don't know how much this is. I don't think you can buy it on their site yet. It's sold out apparently. They have 2,000 pre-orders. Apparently it's supposed to be an attractive price, but I don't know. So yeah. Oh, Steve, thank you for coming a member. Oh, and I think I missed some from earlier. I'm assuming Duff said Doggo 6.99. And I think somebody else became a member. I can't scroll up enough, but cheers. So yeah, so we're gonna do the unboxing. What's the price? I don't know what the price is. I think somebody said $280. So I think that puts it in the same realm as the Viper. Which if so, I don't know if that's good. So it's a box in a box. No chat on main camera. Oh, yeah. Oops, sorry. I forgot. I was recording a video. Flawless. There we go. And let's put the music on. I need to get another camera. I think I'm going to invest in another camera soon. I was kind of hoping to wait till like the end of the year sales before I get into that. Because right now, this is my one camera. It's a Sony A5100. And I use it for streaming, but I also use it for videos. And the thing is, like, it's got an internal battery. It's plugged in. So if I want to move it, all the wires, it's a pain in the butt to move around. So I kind of want to leave this as my streaming camera because I think the quality is okay for live streams. But I want to get like an actual proper camera for videos. And if I ever go anywhere, this camera doesn't have like an external audio in, so no shotgun mics or anything. So if I, Murph next year, I'll be going to Murph next year. Well, freaking COVID's over by then. I want a proper mic for that and whatnot, and a proper thing so I can make content. That's not a Voron. Not everything I do. Price range from $349 to $279. Okay. Yeah, not everything I do on the channel is Voron or Clipper. I don't want to be bogged down, or not bogged down. I don't want to be a single subject content creator. I do what I want. So, let's see what's in here. So it's dense foam, styrofoam. It's styrofoam. You all know styrofoam. Manual. In German on the front. It's in English and German. It's a 3D printer user manual. Benutzungshandbuch des 3D Druckers. Benutzungshandbuch des 3D Druckers. Yes, it's that. Low impact polystyrene. Okay. We're gonna try that. I got 6 screws. I've got, wow, an actual wrench. Like, generic Allen keys go in the bin, but this is like a wrench. 8mm and 10mm. Generic Allen keys can go in the box of other generic Allen keys. PTFE. Completely unlabeled SD card. 0.4mm nozzle. Latch thing. Filament holder. Court Ross, $5. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. New camera fund. It's on my list. I've got plans. I just need the time. Like it's a surprising amount of time to the video review of the IDEX printer, the Artist D Pro. I have enough footage and like I've done enough prints now to do a proper video on it now, I think. But that's like eating up all my free time. Because this isn't my job. It's my hobby. And family always comes first. It's just, I would like to put more time into this, but I can't. So, I'm limited to what I can do at a time, basically. If the crew goes to Earth. Well, the plan was to go to Murph, and we had 2 boosts last year. So, it's a lot of plastic. But, we'll get to the plastic. Because I know, on Chris's basement, he was saying, it was a lot of plastic. But we'll get to that, because there's many different kinds of plastics. And I think this is an okay kind of plastic for what it is. So it's 2 pieces. You got your gantry, you got your bed. Bed is the same size as an Ender 3. David's here. Everyone say hi, David. So right now, David, I can go to the States. I am allowed to go to the States now. They've opened it up. Well, I think I've always been able to go to the States. It's just coming back was the problem. So I can now go to the States. The only thing is on the way back, I have to get a, because I am fully vaccinated, I have to show proof that I don't have COVID. So I have to get a, a test before I come back. But I think I'm able to actually go to the States. Let's flip this over, take a look at the electronics. Because we are deep diving this guy. So, and actually, not so much the electronics. I'm assuming silent steppers, TMC 2208s, 2209s. Yeah, I'm assuming it's all modern. But I'm interested to see what the actual frame is, because it's plastic. And it's Phillips. Oh no, the warranty will be void, guys. I'm gonna void my warranty here. Do I normally make it running? Well, here's the thing. It's a V-Wheel i3. If you take the time to get a proper profile, it's gonna print fine. It's got a V6 of some sort and a BMG extruder. It'll print a Benchy. We all know this will print probably a decent Benchy. So let's look at what makes it different. Because this thing has like a plastic frame, so let's take a look at the frame. Now, it has a plastic base, however, the your Y-axis is moving on in aluminum extrusions, obviously. Yeah, the AVE Uncle Bumblefuck style. I think it's a V6 style. Which if it is, that's good because that's more compatibility with other stuff. Okay, I think that's it. Hopefully, oh, you know what? They probably got... do they put screws underneath the... Yeah, there's screws under the feet. Derek, $2, thank you. Yep, screws under the feet. Oh, just the back feet.
There are screws under the feet.
So I avoided my warranty, but honestly, it's a 3D printer. Sub $300 3D printer from China. The odds of you going through warranty and shipping it back for whatever reason for repair are basically non-existent. Plus, I'm pretty sure Canada is one of the countries that these stickers aren't actually lawful. I think the only printer that I have that actually runs a bed mesh on Clipper is my my switch wire. So if you look at the config on the switch wire, because I left it stock, whatever the stock is, that's pretty much what I'm running. So if you look at the Clipper config for the switch wire, that's what mine looks like. And I just copy and pasted the config, and it just, that's it. I've never actually manually, or actually no, I did set it up manually on my Bonsai on 120 by 120 millimeter bed, 4-point bed leveling. But yeah, I did do it there, but it's been a while. Okay, so it is a lot of plastic. Yep, it's all plastic. Okay, so I see what they did there. So it doesn't look too bad, honestly. Let's go to overhead. Okay, so we've got our controller board here. This was something somebody did point out. They did point out to me, oh, hey, this. So the 24 volt wires don't have the crimp connector on it. I know we don't like that, but that's actually like your wall connectors in your walls in most houses in North America don't have crimp connectors. They're just wire right into the terminal and connected. So as long as these aren't tinned, actually, oh no, okay. They do have a connector on it. They're not just jammed in there. They actually have a ferrule and then they're crimped in. So there is a crimp connection on this. It's not the correct one, but there is a crimp connection on there. And in this case, honestly, the reason you want a crimp connection is you don't want errant wires, okay? If you look at your wall, most of the wiring in your house is single strand wire, right? It's just, you know, it's one thick copper wire. And when you put that into a terminal where your plugs are, you literally just, you make a little loop, a hook, and you just tighten the screw onto it and you're done. Connectors like these are multi-strand wire. You want a crimp connector, one, just so it has something more robust to grab onto because the wires are smaller. And two, you don't want that errant strand of wire accidentally causing a short. So this is a crimp connector on here. It's not the proper one, but I guarantee you the reason that is a ferrule connector is because this whole wire has ferrules on both ends. I guarantee it. Main power in. Yeah, so they just have the ferrule connector on both ends. That's probably, they probably made like 1,000 of these wires and they just mass produced them. There should be a fork with a ring would be the proper one, but this is still okay. This isn't an A+, but it's not a fail in my eyes. Like, it could be a lot worse. This could just be wires jammed in there and all frayed out. But this could be better, but it could be worse. It's not wrong. It's just not the rightest answer. It's like, you know, you get a multiple choice quest or multiple choice test question, and you have to pick the most right answer. And there's several answers that are kind of right, but one is the right one. This is a situation. So yeah, so you're not getting even pressure, but it's a small wire. It could be better. It could be a lot worse. Other than that, though, under the hood here, it's all plastic. This whole frame is plastic. There is a little short section of extrusion here that is attached to the frame. that your Z or your gantry attaches to, it looks like. Now, what I am looking for is, I don't think I see one. All the wires are properly connected. Everything's managed well. I'm not seeing any loose or errant wires. Nothing's rubbing. So at least you don't have the Ender 3 slot through the extrusion that the wires kind of go through. Controller board is, it's a GD32 powered one. Actually, let's go to this camera. So whatever the controller board is, it's GD32 is the chip. No clipper. I don't believe GD32 is supported by clipper. It's a Gigo device ARM processor. 35 volt caps. Yeah, it's a standard. No heat sinks on the driver, no fan either. But it's the drivers are directly on the board. So the drivers are directly on the board. So there should be enough heat sinking that it should be okay. This ribbon goes all the way to here. This is probably the gantry. This is probably all the gantry connections, I bet. So yeah. It's an STM32 clone. Raymond, isn't that what Big Tree Tech is moving to on the Mini E3, the GD32? They got lots of hot snot on all the connectors. There's replaceable fuses, so that's good. So yeah, it's a proprietary board. Power supply is a Sumpin. It's legit a Sumpin. It's a Sumpin. 360 watt, 24 volt. I did check it already. It is set to 110 for Yankee Doodle Land over here. Yeah, so right now, Clipper, you can't run Clipper on this printer. Motor's there, which is mounted. So yeah, yeah. It doesn't, I've seen worse. Heck, they even have a ground. The ground is connected to the extrusion here, so the extrusions are grounded. So they did ground it, and then there's also, yeah, so there is a ground to the extrusions. Yes, it's plastic, but I'm pretty sure just looking at the, see, that's the problem. They don't have one. So this is the problem. Here in North America, there's standards when it comes to injection molding. By the way, I build injection molds for a living. Usually you have stamped, well, not stamped, it's molded into the part. You have somewhere on the part that tells you the type of plastic and when it was made. So there's a date wheel and a product stamp. So in here, you're seeing, you know, these are all ejector pin marks. This was made with an end mill, no handwork. It's a very basic tool. You can even see the tool rusted at some point. But there's no marking to tell you what kind of plastic it is. So there's a few ways to kind of know. I have a suspicion that this is glass filled of some sort. And the fact that it doesn't shave too well. Another comment somebody made was heat. Let me go get my extension cord. Hey, Coda. So, we are going to heat it. We are going to heat this up and see how the plastic handles heat. Marking could be under the PSU or board. Yeah, I'm not going to take the power supply out because it's screwed in from underneath the frame. My flashlight in here? It's in the other room. You're supposed to be in bed. Say goodnight. Good night. Say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night. You gotta go to bed. What's this? Is that a 3D printer? What's this? Okay, you gotta go to bed. Say good night. Good night.
Nanny.
No, no gummies. Say good night. Good night. Yeah, go to mommy. Ah. He knows. He comes down here now because he knows he doesn't have to go to bed if he can come down here. Came for a sword. He already broke the sword. So, this iron's hot. Yeah. Yeah, it's just melting. I don't think it's ABS. I think it's like a PC or a nylon. It's some fiberglass reinforced, I think. It's hard to say. There's so many different types of plastics out there now. But I don't think it's ABS. I don't think. So yeah, under the hood, it could be better. It could be worse. It could be a lot worse. Maybe it's peak. I don't think it's peak. Say anything on here? No. So that's the thing. There's no standards with these kind of things. So there is no fans. However, there is ventilation holes over the controller, and there is ventilation holes over the air intake for the power supply. So could be better, could be worse. Honestly, the frame just holding this here doesn't feel too floppy. Is it PETG? No, because outside of 3D printing, PETG is pretty much only ever used in water bottles. Well, actually, no. PET, because nobody actually uses PETG. Because you take PET and you add glycol to it to make PETG so that it's actually easier to 3D print. Yeah, the PSU has a fan under here. That's the only fan under here. So, as long as the controller board has a big enough copper pore in it, you should be okay with the 2208s. 2209s do run colder, but for some reason they're older, but I'm seeing a lot of controller boards now still have 2208s, especially like the GD32 is a newer chip if I'm not mistaken. So I'm thinking, I don't know if it's a chip shortage thing as to why new boards aren't being made with 2209s, because 2209s are better than 2208s in every way. Like they're the upgrade of the 2208, right? 2209s. So the fact that boards are being made new with 2208s, I don't know if it's a chip shortage thing or what. Okay, so that is that. So yeah, under the hood, it's fine. Okay, flip it. So the body I'm not too sure of. However, if you look at the bed is plastic. The bed carriage is plastic. That I am pretty much sure is a glass-filled nylon of some sort. Just looking at the... Yeah, just from looking at it, you can kind of tell. It's got that fibrous kind of look to it. It looks a lot like the... we do a lot of automotive molds for like engine bay parts that are glass-filled nylon. And it looks pretty damn near the same in terms of like the surface finish. I will say their injection mold isn't great, but it is what it is. So yeah. So it is a fixed bed. The bed actually sits on the standoffs that are molded into the bed. So nylon can take heat. I don't think you'll see the bed warp. Yeah, raw ICS stock problems. Yeah, that would make sense. I don't turn off interpolation max, but I usually run run everything on spread cycle just for the extra torque, because I'd rather have a little bit more torque than risk a layer shift or something. I'm more of I prefer reliability over quietness, because all my printers sit in this room by themselves, so I really don't care about noise too much. Yeah, this is all same plastic here. So let's do the heat test on these ones, because these are the same plastic as the bed. So yeah, this is, you can see it. So this is the back side. So there's no machining finish, but you can see the like it almost has like a fiberglassy texture. So this is definitely a glass fill plastic of some sort, which you normally, in my experience, you don't see glass fill ABS. You normally see glass fill nylon, glass fill polypro, a few others, but it's usually the higher temp stuff that is glass filled, because you glass fill it for the extra rigidity too, right? So yeah, so it's two separate Z motors. So it is two separate Z motors, and they are linked together at the top, so they shouldn't get out of step. And then you got your V wheels. There's nothing to tension them though, which is kind of poopy, but in reality, it's just to kind of keep them together. They're really, tying them together isn't required. It's just kind of nice to have them tied together. And the whole top brace here, this is plastic. Like for everyone, oh my god, plastic. It could be worse. It could be a acrylic. It could be an 8-net. So this just slides right into there. Tapped holes are there. Actually, wait. Let's do the thing I was going to do first. Let's melt it. So let's do over here. So this iron's at like 400 degrees, I think. Oh yeah, it's definitely glass filled. It's definitely glass filled. And no smoke. Yeah, you can see the strands, yeah. Now, I'm not going to try and set it on fire, but it definitely is a glass-filled plastic of some sort. So that's good. Like, if you're going to make parts out of plastic, at least they're using the right plastic. I'm pretty sure it's a glass-filled nylon of some sort. And it's hopefully it's, you know, it's probably like legit nylon. Same stuff you use in engine bay components in cars. What's the build area? Same as an Ender 3, I believe. So it's the 235 by 235 by 250. There's a link in the description if you want to go to the actual Mingda site. It's got all the specs on this guy. Considering Voron either 1.8 or 2.4, can you give some pros cons of both? They both share the same gantry. The 2.4 is a little bit pricier, a little bit more complex of a build, as the gantry moves in the 2.4 and does not in the V1. Print quality is about the same. All Vorons print roughly the same as long as you take the time to tune them. Comes down to what you... The V2 scales better to larger sizes than the V1. So the extrusions are tapped. I'm screwing into the extrusions. So no T-nuts. So the assembly is actually pretty easy. So that goes there, that goes there. Flip it on its back, put these bottom ones in. Bed will just screw in like that. Motor screws in, or plugs in there. Motor plugs in there. Two Y motors almost approved. So honestly, I'd be more impressed. Two Y motors should be standard. I'd really like to see two independent Y motors become more of a thing. Because with two independent motors, you can do gantry tramming. And if you can do gantry tramming, it makes leveling a bed a heck of a lot easier. Okay. So that just kind of does that. Okay. So it's got a ribbon cable, and it's like an IEC ribbon cable. It's like your old hard drive ribbon cable type thing. Let's take this cover off and take a look at the hot end. So let's bring this up. Cost difference between linear rails and... That's the thing, because... Okay, I gotta adjust these. The wheels are kind of loose. Linear rails, I know we can get them for like $15 for cheap linear rails. Versus injection molding, these big assemblies, 3 wheels each. I gotta say, it's probably not that much cheaper. And it's much bulkier. That's another thing with V-wheels. They're bulky. They're not a compact thing, which is kind of off-putting. It makes, you know, bulkier designs and whatnot. That's... Don't tell me it's got a strip screw. There we go. Yeah, well, yeah, a V2 does quad gantry tramming. So I will give them credit. So far, the actual assembly of this thing is dirt simple. It's 6 screws, which I haven't put the bottom 2 in yet, and put connectors in. So the actual assembly of this printer is very newbie friendly. I give them credit for that. Where's my wrong one? That doesn't fit in there. That doesn't fit in there. Crud. I could have sworn I had a longer screwdriver that would fit. Talk amongst yourself, class. That might work. There we go. How's the strain relief? There is none. The connection just kind of plugs directly into the bed. Okay, so this kind of just pops off. Yep. So I don't think this is actually even needed. So we've got our Hotend, which is a V6. I'm assuming it's PTFE lined. We've got our BMG clone, which actually looks pretty okay. Here, let me turn the autofocus on. 1 second, sorry. Oh, autofocus is on, it just sucks. Oh, okay. So it's BMG clone, pancake stepper, this little breakout board. Now, it's a Hall effect. This little board right here has a little, is that a magnet? Yeah. It has a Hall effect Z end stop. So, how it works is the tool head pivots on a strain, like there's no actual pivot point, okay? It's not like there's like a bolt. It's just kind of hanging off a bracket, and when you hit the nozzle into the bed, the Hall effect sensor activates. So I'm gonna leave this off, and I'm gonna hope they have like an LED on here. But it's a Hall effect Z end stop. So that should be pretty good, I believe. Hall effects, like I have Hall effect end stops on both my V2s, and they're accurate to within a microstep. So it should be pretty reliable. We have this little breakout board here. What's on it? What does this breakout board even have? Fill det. Oh, it's got a filament. Okay, it does have a filament detector. So filament run out. ABL, a fan, thermistor, another fan, and an end stop, or an extruder. And what's the chip on it? It's got an actual chip on it. Wow, my eyes are getting bad. It's got UART. This little breakout board has UART on it. I don't know what this board is. I don't know, like I think it's more than just a breakout board. Because it actually has stuff on it, but whatever. Yeah, the fan is sucking in from behind, and there's really not a lot of airflow. We're going to leave this off, because I want to see, at least for now, how this works. So everything's plugged in. Oh, I got to put my filament spool on. Okay, that's on. We got SD card holders on the side here. We have our very, very important screw tool compartment. Very important. Can't go home without it. I don't know where I put those that Link SD card. I'm gonna need it. Don't know where I put it. Oh, here it is. We've got our completely generic SD card, and look, it even has a holder for your SD cards. Look at that. That's nifty. Okay, let's put our last two screws in this guy. And then we'll tighten up the gantry, or the fix the X-axis wobble, and we'll turn it on. What will the first print be? I don't know. We'll find something. Okay, so we got one of those little, what are they? I don't know what these clips are called. Is the glass bed actually like affixed in here? Oh, no, it comes out. Okay, good. So it is a pretty thick bed. Like, it is a pretty thick bed. It's 3 mil? Just thicker than it. Oh, no, that's about the same. Ah, it's the same thickness as an ender bed. Maybe. Yeah, it's about the same. Okay, so we got the plastic off. That feels okay, I guess. I hate V-wheels for, like, tuning tension. Belt feels snug. They both axes have adjustable belt tension. I don't know, the bed feels fine there. This I gotta fix though. This is kind of wobbling. So where is my spanner? So V-wheels, you adjust this, right? And that's how it's ovaled. And this doesn't fit. This doesn't fit. Do I have one that fits? Quick, somebody who's experienced with enders, what size is the a V-wheel spanner? Because it's not 8 or 10 mil. Oh wait, it is. Come here, come here. Okay. This is the 10 mil that came with the kit. It doesn't fit over the V wheels. This is another 10 mil that I don't remember which printer this came from. This one fits over the V wheels. So either their V wheel nut is wrong or their spanner is wrong. Anyways, there we go. Okay, we're good. So that's good there. Yeah, the Y ones feel fine. I don't know if I can get my vernier in here. Yeah, because I can't get my vernier in there straight. Ah, maybe. 10 mil. Yeah, 10 mil. Okay. Let's give it some power. Okay, so just in case I get electrocuted and we all die, make sure you all like that smash button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you're subscribed. Ring that bell so you don't miss all these fun adventures in the future. Make sure the actual connectors for the motors are good. The Z wheels, good. That's good. That's good. Oh, they gave us a little PT. This I like. They gave you a little piece of PTFE tube to put up top here for a reverse Bowden of a little bit. I can dig it. Their knockoff Bondtech doesn't even have a knockoff logo in it. Okay. Are we ready for power, guys? Are we ready for the juice? No thunderstorms tonight. Nope, no thunderstorms. Power. Mingda. So it's got a little touchscreen. You know what? I personally, I'm not a fan of, touchscreens on printers. I'd rather have tactile buttons, and I don't need all the fancy features. I'd rather see the money spent somewhere else to make it a better printer. However, the screen on here is actually a really good screen. Like you can see on here, like it's miles better than the Ender 3 screen. I'll give it that. There's no home button. Leveling. Back. Oh. So it needs to heat up before it can level. All. So there are two Z end stops on here. There is a optical Z end stop here for, I'm assuming, the gantry, and then it uses the nozzle for just bed leveling. I have a fire extinguisher right there. Flat Potato, thank you for becoming a member. I got one of the, just in case. Okay. So, is that offset? Oh, this is nice. Okay, so move. Let's move. Okay, move up 10 mil. Put it in the middle of the bed. Okay, and then Y positive. Okay. I will say this touchscreen is actually really fast. This is a nice touchscreen. And then Z offset. Okay, back. So if I home Z, will it stay there? Actually, no, I could just move down. Okay, so my Z offset is way off. So if I go back, let's see, let me get this on camera because there's actually a Z offset setting in here. Oh, wrong camera. So I can actually do Z offset and then decrease it. Nope. Zero. Save. Back. Home. Z. Okay, so that is not right. Back. Save. Oh, I gotta go the other way. Back. Save. So that ain't working. Oh, because I probably, you know what? It probably homes to a fixed amount and then it won't do the Z offset. So let me save. Yeah. So let's do leveling. Okay, so we got to wait for the bed to heat up to 50 and the hot end to heat up to 150 to do the leveling. Yeah, that buzzer is kind of annoying, but with a touchscreen, I kind of like buzzers. Yeah, some people on the Voron team know my address in case they need to call emergency services. Don't worry. So it's heating up. You know what? While it's doing that, let's check the manual. I didn't even think to look at it because there was nothing really in here. Leveling. Okay. So click leveling. It's called ABL, but it's click leveling. The system will automatically level after heating. Okay. Now, if it was smart, it would, yeah, there's no Cura profile. Oh no, there is a Cura profile for it too. Yeah, there is a Cura profile. We gotta wait for it to heat up before it'll do the leveling. Okay, so it's homing. Ooh, quit moving, camera. Okay. So this is why I got an indicator, by the way. Because I want to see, because it's pushing on the bed, and the bed is plastic. So what we're going to worry about is that the bed moves when it homes, because that will lead to not correct settings. So, Okay. The bed deflects down 2 thou. So from the corner to the middle, it's about 2 thou. In the middle, it's about 1 thou. So it's still deflecting the bed down. However, so 2 thou, so 4 thou is 0.1 mil. It's not a strain gauge. It's not a strain gauge. So what it is you have this bracket that the tool head's mounted on, and there is ever so slight amount of flex to it. But that's a Hall effect sensor. So it's not a strain gauge, it's an actual Hall effect sensor that they use for the bed leveling. So it's not a strain gauge, because that's what the CR6 uses, is a strain gauge, right? Okay, so now I gotta set my Z offset. So back, home, back, move. Oh, okay, that's nice. So when it did that, it set my Z0 for the nozzle. So that is good. Thing is, it's a little high, so oop. That's 0.3. Oh, and I can't use this because the I have to eyeball it. There we go. Okay, so 0.5. So increase the offset 0.5. Save. Back. Home. Home all. It's carborundum glass. It's that same glass that is common. With cheap printers, I'd rather see a glass bed, because a lot of the cheap printers, the aluminum beds aren't flat. So I'd rather see a glass bed on a cheap printer, unless it has a flex plate and ABL. Okay, leveling. I gotta wait for it. So this sucks. I can't. It does its freaking. The Z offset doesn't override until you re-mesh bed level. I don't think this has an all-metal hot end, but otherwise you should be able to. So while this is doing that, let's get install all the Chinese spyware. Or actually, no, I'm not even going to install the SD card. I don't trust it. For a rule of thumb, I don't install. Okay, so printer. You know what? This is an Ender 3. So printer settings. Okay, Creality. Actually, no. We're going to tell it it's a Prusa. This is a Prusa. It's a Prusa, guys. Yeah, this is totally a Prusa. Generic PLA. Generic PLA. So we got to tell it it's 230 by 230. Or 235 by 235. Okay, and I think it's 250, Zed? Uh, 260. So it's 230 by 230 by 260. That's what it's saying. So 230. I need to get a new... My keyboard down here is dying. So 230 by 230 by 260. That ain't bad. Custom G code. So we're just going to tell it to the G28 and then G29, right? G29. Yeah, that works. Can we do a big skirt? You know what? I will do a big skirt. So, menu, move. Okay, that's good. Hey, Zed seems good. I can baby step. So, I can baby step, so that's not a huge issue if I'm not perfect on my first layer. I need an SD card now. I think I have one over here. I should have an SD card. I don't want to use the sketchy China one. Oh, nope, nope. Oh, that's a knife. Ah, there we go. Kingston, micro SD. There's a problem with this drive. Oh. Format. It's funny, like, all my spare SD cards in this house have, like, some version of Clipper installed on them. Back. Preheat. PLA. Okay. So we need something kind of big, but not too big. Oh, I know. I'm not doing a benchy, dang it. No, I'm not doing a cube. I want to do something with actual detail to it. And I don't mind letting it run for a while. Yeah, let's do this guy. Let's do some slimes. A little. Yeah, we're gonna do some Slime Rancher slimes. Which, by the way, you can find these models on Thangs, who is sponsoring the show tonight. Ooh. Okay, so we're printing at 0.2 layer height, 15% infill, 2 perimeters, 5 top, bottom, sure. Slicing. This is pretty much default. This is Super Slicer defaults for an ender or for a. Ooh, it's warming up. I can smell it warming up. G code just 28. Machine limits. Yeah, sure. So it thinks it's a Prusa. It thinks it's a Prusa. I'm not going to use the sample filament. I won't have enough. Retraction 0.8. Yeah, that should be 0.8 should be right. It's a direct feed setup. PLA 215. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, let's do some. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? I got some bright orange. Actually, where did I put it? Where is? David, I don't know where I put your orange. And it's red. I don't know where I put. Oh my god. How do you lose filament? How do you lose filament? Oh, the red's right there. Oh no, that's ABS. Blue's there. That's there. You know what? We'll go with. I don't know where the orange went. Where did I put the orange? I want to use the orange. Okay, well, oh, you know what? We'll use some Polyterra here. There we go. There we go. There we go. We'll use Polyterra Teal, PLA. It's definitely giving off that oily smell of a first Hotend heat up. Okay, so they did test it. There is filament in there. So they did test it. Okay. Export G code. Speed drive F. I only print printer parts. Why would I print anything else? That's what we do, man. Just printer parts. Okay, so this is about a 4-hour print. So obviously, it's not going to finish on stream. Now, they did advise me that there is updated firmware for this printer. Obviously, I haven't installed it. But this does have a USB and a USB-C. So a USB Type A and a USB Type C. And apparently you can just plug in like a thumb drive. You can use thumb drives with this thing with the updated firmware. You don't need to use an SD card. So aren't you showing up? Oh, don't tell me this is a bad SD card. Let me find a different SD card. So yeah, they're that's kind of nice. Yeah, Polytear is not abrasive, it's just matte. Okay, export G code. We'll try. There you go. Save. Orange spool is on the PO. Oh, there's the orange spool. There we go. Yes, that's a fem base. Okay, plug that in. Print. There we go. Yeah. This was printed on Tallboy with some Sparta 3D metallic PLA. And this was printed with a 1.2 millimeter nozzle at a, I think, 0.6 or 0.4 layer height. So we're letting that heat up. You know what? Now that I actually have high-speed internet, I think the next stream I'm going to try 60 FPS instead of 30. So let's see here. Okay, so I'm a little up. So let me maybe step it down a bit. There we go. It didn't do the bed leveling. Why didn't you do the bed leveling? Is there supposed to be something in the profile for bed leveling? I had a G29 going 4K. I don't have a 4K. This camera's only 1080p. Oh yeah, I would lose low latency. I don't want to do that. So I don't know, we'll let it print. I don't think the flex in the tool head will be an issue. What will be an issue is the absolute lack of airflow I'm feeling. Like, that is some pitiful airflow over that hot end. Although, credit where credit is due. Filters, turn off noise suppression, mute the music. I mean, it is pretty quiet. So, It did level. Remember, I didn't turn it off, so it still has the bed mesh save from when we did the manual leveling. It just didn't redo it. I wanted it to redo it again. I am gonna have to drop my Z offset 0.1 again, but honestly, that ain't bad. And I know Joel had an issue with his where he wasn't able to tighten up the X carriage. I was able to just fine. Yeah. Okay, I can still touch that, so it's obviously... That fan is pitiful. I'm tempted to flip that fan around. Like, leave this off and flip that fan around. That fan is moving... It's on. Yeah, the fan is on, it's just moving nothing for air. Yeah, the hot end or the part fan's off. The part fan is off. Only the hot end fan is on, but it's Why did you just do the perimeter again? I don't know why I did the perimeter again. What the heck? Okay, for some reason the Prusa profile has brims to 3 layers high for skirt height. Why would you put a 3-layer skirt, Prusa, in the default profile? Why? That makes no sense. So yeah, the ABL was fine. I honestly, a skirt is like a prime line. I use a skirt in lieu of a prime line, and so it gives me time to double check my bed off or my bed mesh. So if something got funky with my bed mesh, I see when it does a skirt usually, or my ABL or gantry tramming or whatever. After you start printing, why would you do another skirt? I don't know. Oh, get it off the bed. Okay, that makes sense. Well, hey, it's printing. Let's get a drink. Drink time. Today, I think we're gonna dive back into it. We've got the good old 40 Crick copper pot. Canadian whiskey. So make sure you like that smash button. Cheers. This stuff's actually really good. Yeah, 90 minutes, and I took it apart as much as I wanted to. Like, going from what others had said... Oh, my skirt's kind of... I was prepared for, like... I don't think it's that bad. Like, the frame, yes, there is a lot of plastic in the components of this. But guess what? So is all the XY joints and motor mounts and everything on a Voron. And this is where it matters, the bed, the X, or in the gantry parts. They're, I'm pretty sure glass-filled nylon or glass-filled something. They're a good plastic. So we're gonna have a little bit of, yeah, one area is kind of screwed up because I dragged part of the skirt into there. Oh well. Marathon stream a build. I marathon streamed the whole build of that V0 down there. It was 10 hours. fan on? You can't see. Yep, part fan's on. Blob from the skirt getting pulled in. Input shaper tuning, awesome. So yeah, I honestly was prepared for much worse. Initial impressions, you know what? I'm actually gonna put time on this printer. I'm actually gonna run it for a while and see how it fares longer term. I was prepared to just do the review, like just do the video and that was it. Oh, that's what got sucked up. The little foot got sucked up. Oh well. He's supposed to have these little feet got popped off the bed. Oh well. It'll be a special little slime. What do I think about the aluminum Voron parts? The aluminum Voron parts, I know somebody on the team who has them and he can't tell the difference. So you're paying $200-300 for no real noticeable difference in print quality. Plus a lot of the parts don't work anyways because parts of Voron parts are supposed to flex. Like the a lot of the Hotend stuff for like the latch arm and whatever on the afterburner. Watch Tech, thank you for becoming a member. I've seen some people rocking don't run a Noctua. Noctua for your electronic compartment, that's fine. Running a Noctua to cool your Hotend or a part fan is dumb. Noctuas cannot push, they don't have high static pressure. They have issues when it comes to they just can't push high static pressures. Okay, looks like we're gonna have issues with the feet until about layer 7 or 8. So that's about 1.8, so we're halfway there. So this guy's gonna have messed up feet because one of the feet didn't stick. Oh well. Yeah, axial fans, don't use a blower fan for part cooling because it'll push air better through the duct. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put some time on this printer and actually see how it handles long term. Yeah. Your V0X carriage keeps cracking. That part is kind of thin, and if your printer isn't really 100% dialed in, and you're printing a little too hot or a little too cool, I could see them being an issue. Part cooling fan, Amazon special. Oh, that's the problem, Amazon special. I run GD Stein dual ball bearing fans on my printers. They're a little bit louder, but they work. Unenclosed PLA, yeah. And the newer Hotend designs, like the ones with the bimetallic heat breaks and the more advanced heat sinks, they seem to have much less issues with cooling than like the old V6 styles like this. These styles need a lot more cooling than, you know, a mosquito or a dragon or a dragonfly. So GD Stein 6020s are allowed. I think I actually have one of those in, I think that's the one I have in Toasty for part cooling, or for electronics compartment. And yes, it's loud. Have you ever compared bed tilt before? I have bed tilt on my V1. It's just whatever the stock setup is. So yeah, so there are a few things, like there is no, right here, there is no strain relief. You're relying 100% on the connector here for the bed. It's a thick, heavy-duty connector, but you are relying entirely on the connector for the bed there. Yeah. This feels kind of flimsy. I think this, because the wire comes in and it's like short. I think they made this wire a little too short. So I keep feeling like this is gonna fall out. And I think that's your Z end stop, or your Y end stop. So this wire is a little short. Yeah, that's gonna pop out. So there's that. That's an easy fix for me though. I don't know. I don't look at Amazon for fans too often, Andrew. I normally just get them off Alley. X end stop. Yeah, X end stop, sorry. Getting a blob on the nozzle. Nope, it's because the 1 foot here didn't stick to the bed and got dragged off. So now it prints in air. In a couple layers, it'll stop doing that. Yeah, I can't save it. Oh well, no biggie. RCCNC, hello there. How's that connected? Actually, what I would like to test, I want to check the deflection, because I know on Chris's live stream he was concerned with the tool head moving because it's not 100% fixed. I felt a lot of slop in mine until I tightened up the V wheel, and now it doesn't feel as bad, but there still is slop there. The thing is, because it's on a bracket, it's not like a rotate, it's not like a pivot point, right? It's a bracket, and you're flexing the steel. You're really only going to see movement, I believe, in the Z, because it really shouldn't. The tool head only moves on this axis. It only moves on the X axis. There's no Y axis movement, and it's not like it's, you know, it's not like it's gonna, every time you do a direction change, it's gonna flop up, right? It shouldn't, at least. I can check that, but yeah. So even though the tool head moves, again, if somebody could tell me what forces act on a printer tool head during operation. There's nothing pushing the tool head. There's no cutting forces. So, it should be fine. Like, it's a thick bracket. It's like a 1/2-inch thick bracket. So it's not like it's, you know, when it's doing these rapid movements here, it's not like it's shaking, or shaking more than it would. Yeah, so I think it'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah, I think it should be fine. Like, I don't think it'll be an issue. And honestly, it's a glass bed. Your options for bed mesh are either a strain gauge, which you're gonna have the same thing where it's got movement to it, or a BL Touch, which honestly I'm not a huge fan of BL Touches. I'd rather have something like this. Plus, I mean, like I know my audience. You guys love, you know, Vorons and whatever. And like, what kind of crazy madman would build a printer where the tool head moves for Z switches? Like, you would never build a printer that you have flex in the tool head for an end stop, right? To measure the bed. Like, who would do that? Like, I don't know who would do that or what kind of design that would partake, but that's totally not a Voron thing. So I don't know where they got this idea from, because, you know, yeah. That's the V1.5, by the way, and it worked. It actually used a, let me see if I can find a video. It actually had like a standard KW10 Omron switch. The nozzle has blobs, but that's why it heats up. So it heats up to a 150, so it softens the plastic. And as long as you're not continuously oozing out plastic the entire time, remember, I think it just uses it because it has a separate switch for the end stop. Okay, it has a separate Z end stop switch. So, and that's optical, so it can over travel, that means I could glue something to the bottom of this, do the mesh, and then it should still be fine, because as long as it's consistent throughout the mesh, because your Z is based off the end stop, I believe. I don't know how the firmware works on here, or if it resets your Z end stop based off the last nozzle click or something. Yeah. So yeah. Honestly, it's working fine. I'm gonna let this finish, obviously. It's a 4-hour print. So yeah. Hold off on 1.8s. That might have been something I said. How's the extruder motor? Yeah, a little warm, but it's fine. I think we might be over extruding a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to find stuff to knock it, like more stuff, but it doesn't seem too bad. Like, it's got metal where it really needs it. The plastic that is there is the right kind of plastic. It's fiberglass reinforced. I don't know. What filament? This is Polyterra. Polyterra PLA. It's a matte teal. Test power recovery. Does it have power recovery? Last printer I tried that on that didn't have it, I ran into issues. Like, personally, I'm a fan of like inductive probes on flex plates, but you need a flex plate for that. So yeah, so you can use, like, it is nice, you can use SD card, or you can use USB drives with this thing. So that is nice, I give them credit for that. It's relatively quiet. Yeah, it's a V6 variant. I'm pretty sure it's not all metal. Most printers don't ship with all metal because it's easier to get better prints out of a PLA line than with a cheap all metal.
Love the musical note.
Nicholas, €2. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's Stream Beats. I use Stream Beats because I don't get copyright. And this is the hi-fi mix. Actually, let's do something a little different. Let's switch it up. beats, public playlists. Let's do house. Let's do some house music. Run late? Oh, well, I'll probably go to the normal 11 o'clock that we normally do. I may, yeah. Trying to think what I would update. I have a bunch of Triangle Labs titanium heat breaks I could throw in here that I could easily throw in so we could print some ABS. It's a BMG. The gears look like they're cut well, so the extruder should be fine. I want to run a long print on this just to make sure that there's no issues with the controller, because there's no fan under the hood. House unsub. Oh, come on, Fwiffo. Possible to use more than one type of infill on a print? I don't believe so. I don't think you can like switch halfway through from like gyroid to grid or whatever. How many people are on the dev team? I don't even know anymore. They're really... I don't even know if the dev team really is a proper name for it. Like, right now there's 9 admins online, 27 members of the crew. I guess anyone you see, crew, engineer, admin, that would be somebody you can consider on the team, but it's more of just a cabal design group. Like, it's a design team, right? Like, we just have fun designing stuff. Some of them it's printers. And when we think something is cool, we put it out. That's about it. Like, I'm on the Voron design team. I haven't designed a thing yet. In Prusa Slicer, add a modifier to a part and change the infill type on the modifier. Oh! Oh, there we go. Okay, let's, so... Nope, that's not what I wanted to hit. That's not what I what'd I do? How do you add a modifier? I don't know, I'll figure that out later. So you can change infill. The other thing is, I'm feeling like no air movement over that. Actually, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, come on. Did I lose it? Oh, come on. Don't tell me I didn't lose it. I couldn't have lost it. Shoot. Shoot. No, that's all NEMA 17. But I got so many NEMA 17s. I used to have an infrared. Or not an infrared, like a laser thing. Well, okay, I'll do the baby easy way. Okay, well, the hot end's not warm, so... Okay, so we got, there's a part. Add modifier. Height range modifier. Oh, infill. Okay, yeah, see, yeah, you can do that there. Ah, deleted. Funny. How can you support Nero for free? Like the smash button. Like the smash button. I don't know. If you got YouTube Premium, I think you can give me a free sub. I think that's a thing. Kind of like how the Twitch Prime thing works. Because unfortunately I can't get those Bezos bucks because I don't stream on Twitch, but I think this content works better on YouTube anyways. Affiliate links. There's a few. I don't use a lot of affiliate links. Like, I have a few in the videos that make sense, obviously. Like, I don't go around spamming them on my Twitter or something like that. Like, I don't hawk affiliate links as my job. I just have a few. The AliExpress one is decent. I think I have like a generic one where you can click it and then anything you buy on AliExpress, I get one for that in the description, I think. Yeah. Subway sandwich? Ew. Can't stand Subway sandwich. They're not even real meat. Wrong button. What speed? It is, I don't even know what speed. It is, Prusa Mark III quality speed. Which is this. So it's doing infill at 80 millimeters a second. I don't know, the thing is, it's running Marlin of some sort. I don't know what, like the motors aren't warm. Or the motors are warm, but they're not hot. I don't know, like what kind of motors these are. I don't know if, you know, spread cycles enabled, if stealth chop's enabled. When is the next standard video? Like you mean like a video I put out instead of a stream? I'm gonna try and have one, maybe two this week. I'm gonna try and record the video review for the Artist D tomorrow. I think I got enough stuff done with that. And then I think I got three videos. I got a short little project video because I recorded all the footage when I put the window in here and machined that. So I'll probably do that, do a quick little video on that. And then I want to do a video on, geez, I got to do a Clipper screen video. I got to do a video for adding separate MCUs to Clipper. I got to do a video on, I want to do a video on like other accessories, like things you might want to get if you're like serious into 3D printing, like scales, dry lock bags, a bunch of other stuff that I've picked up over the couple years that it would be a good idea to have. And then I want to do like a general video of like what kind of printer you should be looking into depending on what you do and what you want to do with the printer. And Rage Rabbit, I'm waiting on, there's Et's still working on finalizing the 1.1 revision of it. And then once that's done, then I'll be sending a kit. A reaction video to the legal threats that come out of the stream. What legal threats? We haven't done anything about like that would warrant legal threats. Printing in PLA is illegal. PLA is fine for certain things. Use a 9mm belt. No, they're 6mm belts. X and Y are 6mm. Z is lead screw. Video on what to... Yeah, it won't be like this is the printer you should buy. It'll be more of if this is the kind of thing you like doing, this is the type of printer you should be looking for. Like, you know, resin printer versus FDM. Should I get a printer with a moving bed or a fixed bed, or like there's a few different things. Just kind of, you know, summarizing some experience. Been doing this for 3 years now and whatnot. I get a lot of people ask me what kind of printer I should get. And I'm like, I don't know, just go buy an Ender 3 V2 if it's your first printer. That'll serve you well for 90% of people. Mr. Dragonite, you missed the intro. We had Doggo at the intro. Yeah, so looking at it right now, the only thing that I would really fix right away is this little X end stop wire I think is a little short. Other than that, all metal heat break? I don't know. I've got all these mosquitoes collecting dust. Maybe I'll throw a mosquito in it. Use it for something productive. City Duck, pretty much that. Run stream for SLS. SLS, I do not need an SLS. Saw a video from a channel I was kind of following. It's becoming more and more like DPT. Troy J, thank you for the $10. Appreciate it. Really appreciate the info here and the wisdom of the folks in chat. Yeah, we're all just learning. DPT, I've watched a few of his videos. He does his thing. I have nothing against the guy. He does his thing and he does what he does. It's, you know, I've watched a few of his videos that were subjects that I was interested in, and those videos were fine. Yeah, I don't know. I try to avoid the drama. It's not worth it. Especially because this is a hobby for me. I don't, like, this isn't my job. If it ever does become my job, which it's doing pretty well, but it's still not my job. So I'm here to have fun and, you know, hang out. We're not... Yeah, I don't know. Have I checked out the Jubilee? I have looked into it, but it's not something like high on my radar. Yes, I'm doing a carrot patch or carrot feeder or whatever the heck ERCF build. Yes, I will be doing one. I'm getting a kit from the Mr. Deep Fried Hero. Yeah. Called me out as riding on the back of Voron success without realizing you're a part of the dev team for a few years. That's funny. Yeah, you know, I've only, you know, I got serial V1 100. I was the third admin on the Voron subreddit, and, you know, I'm one of the most active members on the Discord, and one of the older members on the team, in terms of being on the team for a certain amount of time. Now I'm totally riding on the coattails. To be fair, my channel started off pretty heavy with the Voron stuff because I started doing this as tutorials for Voron builders, and then I've kind of branched out into other stuff, but that's because I don't want it to be just Voron stuff on here. Yeah, V2 26. I ordered the parts for my V2 while my wife was in labor. Yeah, totally riding on the coattails of Voron. And the best part is, the people who think that Voron, like, we're all massively profiting off Voron, when in reality, the only profits off Voron are, like, the optional affiliate links on the sourcing guide that don't even bring in the cost of a Voron a year. That pretty much gets spread out among the entire dev team for any random dev purchase, like faster shipping on things or Rails or whatever for something in testing. So, everyone makes money off Voron except for Voron. LDO is killing it right now. Allerson, I see your post. I'm not going to approve it because I don't want that kind of, I don't want that in the chat. So, please do not slander other people in the chat. Valid opinions about people are valid opinions, but don't, like, that kind of stuff, no. So. Masumi. Oh god, Masumi. I don't have coattails. I got an apron. It's in the front. This is the Mingda Magician X. And like a magician, it's kind of surprising me. Because it's not... I don't know. I haven't found anything horrible with it that wouldn't fly on other cheap printers, so... LDO. LDO's been good. LDO does a lot of stuff for a lot of other big companies. Like, you'd be surprised what LDO, who LDO works with for like tier 1 supplier of components. So, why doesn't the Voron team make their own kits partnering with company with LDO? Well, LDO just went and made a V0 kit. Like, there is a V0 kit from LDO. The thing is, you gotta remember, everything from Voron is out in the open. Like, once we push a design out, anyone can make kits and sell them. The thing is, most of us are in North America or Europe, and the cost of purchasing all the components for the kits, building the printers, inventorying all the kits, dealing with all the QA, the problems, warranty issues, yada, 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 on kits that can run over $1,000, it's not a worthy investment for a lot of people, especially considering pretty much everyone on the team has a full-time job already, including me. So, a lot of Prusa is LDO, put it that way. Who is my apron supplier? This is Amazon Special with a, I did a video on how I put the, for those that are wondering, the logo in the apron. I did this on a video like a year ago, and it's held up perfectly. So yeah, I have a video on my channel on how to do that, for if you want to stamp leather with a printed like stamp. It actually worked damn good. I'm surprised how good it is, which is gonna suck when I change my logo. Yeah. Put the frame together. Hey man, it's a start. Roberto Herb, $50. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. My first printer will be 2.4, getting my PIF parts on Wednesday. Awesome. Got enough parts to build, but almost 2 printers. Wish me luck. Good luck, man. Hey, remember, if you have an extra ball bearing or an extra lock nut or something, that is the first part for your next Voron build. So.
My first printer will be 2.4, getting my PIF on Wednesday. Got enough parts to build almost 2 printers.
Bought a Physec just to try it out. The Hotend is garbage, but it's not bad. The kit, the Physec kit. If anyone here has bought any of the AliExpress kits, make sure you post in the Discord about your experiences with the kits, okay? Some of them are getting pretty okay. I guess the Formbot kits are pretty good now. Others, like the Blue Rolls kit, yeah. So the only kit I personally, like, the Voron team officially does not recommend any kits because we have no control over them, and the Voron team is not going to put their name on something they don't have control over, okay? It's just kind of how it is. Me personally, the only kit that I say, go ahead, buy, it's good, is the LDO V01 kit. They will be coming out with a V2 kit down the line at some point, but they're doing things like properly and getting certifications and stuff for everything, so it's taking time. So, and the thing is, people are already complaining about the price of the LDO kit. And it's like, it is what it is. Just got a Formbot kit. We'll be here Wednesday. The Formbot kit is probably the better of the AliExpress kits, from what I've seen and heard. I actually, shoot, who is it on the Discord? I gotta load up the Discord and check. What is the store name? What is the store name? Magic Studios, I think. I think they also do okay kits. Yeah, Magic Studios, I think, also does okay kits, but they don't do them often. Yeah, the LDO kits pretty much got... David, if you're in here, how quick did all those LDO pre-orders go? Or sign-ups go? How does the switch wire sit in the Voron lineup? It sits, 1, 2... It's the third printer from the right. But it is the second... It is the closest to the bottom. It's a Core XZ bed slinger. It's different. All the Vorons kind of fill a purpose. I like the switch wire for multi-material because your gantry only moves in the X-axis in the Z. You don't have to deal with it moving in the X, Y, and Z in the V2. It's my open air PLA dual to soon to be 6 time extrusion printer. So. Printed Solid has enough kits to satisfy 7% of the notification signups. Oof. Yeah. Jason's gonna be having fun. I will say though, I've spoken with like the LDO, a few of the guys, Jason and somebody else on the LDO team, and they legit, like, we spoke like feedback on the kits and they took everything to heart. Like, they are a pleasure to work with, so. Digimon kit, yes, the Digimon kits, they do 1-to-1 from the bomb. If you're buying the form product, yeah, so a lot of the kits come with all acrylic panels, which the bottom panels will warp on the larger sizes especially. If you need better panels, hey, why not ACM panels from, if you're in Europe, Fermio Labs, or Printed Solid in the US. I mean, these don't look bad. Yeah, on the V0, it's because on the V2 your bed is sitting right above that bottom panel 100% of the time, and it's so close, it's like a heat sandwich, and it just traps the heat. So, I don't know what all the LDO kit or what all the kit options are for V2s, in terms of like completed kits. I know like LDO sells like motion kits and frame kits for it, but in terms of like full kits, I don't know who has all the kit, like how many kits there are. I don't really keep track of them. This printer will not get Clipper because I don't think the GD32 processor and the controller board is not Clipper supported, I don't believe. At this time, at least. Plus, this printer I probably will leave regular Marlin. And just kind of let it do its thing. Yes, Dave, I will be building one. KB3D, hello. Yes, I will be building a rabbit. I'm waiting on the finalization of the newest revision, and then a kit, and then I gotta print all the parts. And then once that shows up, that will be several streams, probably. Probably a stream or two to build it, and then I gotta figure out what to do with the controller, because either I get the expansion controller for it, or I rip out the controller that's already in Toasty, or in the switch wire, and put either my SKR Pro with its 6 drivers, or I put an Octopus in it because I need 6 controllers or 6 drivers. Okay, let's change the house. Do you guys want? We got drum and bass, we got dubstep, EDM, synthwave, or lo-fi. Oh, you know what? You know what? Wait. I think I can do that. How do I do this? How do I do this? Nope. Okay, bring that over there. Wait. Ah, here we go. Okay, one second. Do we want... There we go. I made a chat or a poll. I don't know if it's working. I created a poll. Did it show up? There we go. Hey, there we go. Everyone vote in the poll. I can do polls. Like, YouTube is actually kind of adding stuff properly now. Yep, poll. Everyone vote in the poll. We're gonna change the music up. And it broke my window. Dang it. I need to buy new monitors. That's what I need to buy next. That's my next business expense, is actually getting some monitors, because this doesn't work too well. It looks like Lo-Fi is ending or winning. Lo-Fi? Okay. Good night, Mitchell. Okay, Lo-Fi it is. And now I can't chat in chat because it broke. Pop out chat. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I need to get proper monitors because right now I have like was this like a 19-inch like 1610, like it's a 1680 by 1080 or 1620 by 1080 or whatever, and then I have two 15-inch 1024 by 768 monitors that I've had for years. The Sharpie exchanger. No, I have no plans on doing that. I don't print a lot of multi-material as is, so if I did that, that would be strictly for content on my channel, and that's not something I want to cover. I need to redo this whole room. I'm hoping this week to actually get the time to reorganize a bunch of stuff. I got to put some shelving up in the closet here. I need to move my camera off its tripod and do a wall mount to try and get a little bit more room. And like I'm tempted to put an island in the middle of this room, and I don't have room for an island, but I'm tempted to put an island in here just so I have more place for stuff. Good night, John. Trying to figure out what this slot is for. That sits like that. So then why does it have this big slot down the side here for no reason? Oh. Island, you mean storage racks? No, like an island, like in a kitchen. Like a triple 27-inch 1440. I don't have room for ultra wides. Like, make sure nothing's visible that you guys can see. That won't be a problem. Okay. This is my setup. So there's the camera. There's OBS. There's you guys. And this is the screen that you see. And then there's my knockoff Stream Deck, my keyboard and mouse. Yeah. And Kenovo good luck charm. Quit falling over. Quit falling over. There we go.
Here's a start for your monitor fund.
RCC and Thee, $20. Thank you, man. I just gotta go. I'm honestly waiting on sales for a lot of this stuff. Like, I want to get a new camera. I think I'm gonna wait for like a Boxing Day or something like that, because it's like the middle of the year right now. So like buying stuff would be kind of wasting money, I think. Yeah, I'm waiting on the newest revision. It's basically just like tweaks and whatnot, and then that will be in the kit that I get from Mr. Deep Fried Hero. And then, oh yeah, and then on the wall right here in front of me, there's nothing. I want to put pegboard, so, and get a bunch of magnetic strips so I can put all my tools just magnetically on the wall and just have a bunch of stuff hanging so I don't have it all over my desk. And then I still got to bolt this bench to the wall. Yeah, the so Larson, I used to be an insurance broker in a call center, and every year what they did was they would auction off, like they would do an internal company auction of all like the old electronic stuff, right? So the one year they got rid of like 20 of these 15-inch 1024 768 Dell monitors, and all the starting bids started at $2. So what I did was, like, that very first day I put $2 on everything. And then by the end, you know, most stuff, like there was like a bunch of Pentium 4D towers, and like I think I ended up with like a first gen Core 2 Duo work computer. I ended up with a Pentium D work computer. And then I ended up with 10 of these monitors. So what I did was on the way home, I stopped at a pawn shop and sold 5 of the monitors for $10 each. And and made back what I spent. Don't go into insurance, kid. Not worth it. Oh yeah, the Aussie builders. I can't remember if it's harder in Australia or New Zealand. I know sourcing some things is a pain in the butt. How did I go? Well, okay, I don't do precision machining. I am a mold maker. I'm the guy who's on the floor, putting the tools together, taking the tools apart, sizing stuff, fitting stuff. I work with my hands and wrenches and Allen keys. Like I'm not an engineer. The insurance gig wasn't going anywhere. It was a dead-end job in a field that was dying because it's all going automated in call centers and offshore and whatnot. My buddy worked at a tool shop, got me in as an apprentice, and I've been there past 7 years. So by this point, I'm immune to the smell of ABS. Just rent an office. So I've actually kind of looked. The problem is there's not a lot of places anywhere near me. If I was gonna like rent a place to like set up a little shop to do all this stuff, one, I'd be doing this full time. It would not be worth taking the profits I am getting from this right now and basically throwing them away when I could just do it in my basement. KB3D, $20. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Because I missed last week. Oh, okay. It's all on VOD, so you never miss it. You're just watching it in the future. So if I was doing this full time, yeah, like Joel has a full setup. Like, I know Tom does it. I think Tom does it in his basement, but he has like the house to himself, I believe. I have, a wife and kid. So I have this room and I'm running out of room. So yeah, but I would have to be doing this full time for that to be worth. So the thing is, though, if I was doing it full time, I'd be able to do more content, which would mean more income, which would make it easier to go full time. The problem is I can't justify going full time because my main job is a main job, and it's, I'm not getting YouTube don't give you RSP contributions or healthcare coverage. Although I live in Canada and my wife has an amazing healthcare plan, so it wouldn't be a big problem. Chicken, egg, exactly. So I do what I can. I will say this has actually been good for my family in terms of family time because I don't work weekends at all anymore. This right now is making enough that it's offsetting me going in for overtime at work. So it makes no sense for me to go do overtime because this makes up for it easily. So I get to spend every weekend at home with the family. I love it. Invest in Bitcoin early. Yeah, I should have gone back in time in like 2011 and like dropped, 10 grand on Bitcoin. Or, I could have saved the 40,000 Dogecoin that I mined back in 2012 or whenever that was. Because, those were only worth 0.003 cents for 7 years before they were worth anything. So I totally should have saved that hard drive. Not invested. I don't have anything in any of the coins or NFTs or TFTs or whatever the heck. Is ZHop turn on? I don't know. I think it is. Let me check. Yes, it's got 0.4 millimeter Z hop. I normally run Z hop. So somebody running a Sherpa Mini and an M4 simultaneously? Not really. Like, is the Sherpa that weak? It can't pull filament and needs an M4 to help? Like, the only reason to run a dual extrusion setup is if you're feeding multiple filaments into the extruder, like an MMU type setup, like the Rabbit Feeder or the Prusa MMU. The Prusa Mini prints better than my Mark 3S. Prusa Mini is a newer printer. Prusa Mini is 32-bit. Not that it really matters on bed flinger, but... So how's the screen looking on this? So this is what we got for a screen. There we go. So it's giving you your X and Y. It's a pretty basic interface, but it's like clean looking. Like, I actually don't mind this touchscreen. It's relatively simple. Like, it's better than the one on the Artist D Pro or the Ender 3 in my opinion. How's Toasty Boy doing? Belts are still tight. And the tool head is doing awesome in the glass-filled Ultra PA, which is, I think, PA12, or it's a high-temp PA. So I will say the Fadus filament, the one spool of the sample spool that they sent me, run it in a reverse Bowden for sure, because it's still brittle as all heck. But like, this was printed in it. Like, this was printed in the Fadus glass-filled Ultra PA, and it is like, holy hell, stiff. Actually, let's go with this camera for a bit. Do I run arc welder? No. All my printers, except for like these off-the-shelf ones, run Clipper, and arc welder is pretty much pointless on Clipper. No, this is the one. Okay, so the one Kiddo got at, he basically was trying to like put it back together, and he like snapped off a bunch of it, and like, so like they don't have the proper pieces that fit into each other. This one was the one, when I tried to get the blade out, the whole thing pulled out because it was all seized together, unfortunately. It's a good test print, which if you haven't yet, click the link in the description, go print one yourself. It's an awesome little print. Good to make sure your printer is good, and you get a cool collapsible katana. Plus, it helps out the metrics with the sponsorship with Thangs and all that. So, while you're at it, like the smash button, subscribe, ring the bell, turn on notifications, subscribe to my newsletter, sign up for my BBS, follow me on Twitch. I don't have Twitch. Actually, I do have Twitch. I've never actually used it. I just have an account. Would that sword work in TPU? I don't think so. Although I wish there was a dual filament one, because I want to print it with 2 colors. Oh, I finally built an LGX, or an afterburner with the LGX. Nice. I'm running LGXs in my V2, in V2 26, and then in Toasty, and they're both working flawlessly. Like, I like them. Yeah, BBS. I used to. BlackBerry Bold 9980? Whatever the last... I still have the BlackBerry upstairs. My son plays with it. Freaking love that phone. Friend me on ICQ. Do I have ICQ? I had ICQ. Like, years ago, obviously. Where for the STL for the flat-sided chain mount? Shoot, it is pinned in the Voron mods channel, I believe. No, Tallboy is now running. Tallboy has an octopus in it, so when I upgraded it to the octopus from the Taco Raven, it is running fluid now. So it is running fluid. I don't have any printers running Octoprint, but that's because I never really used any of the plugins with Octoprint. And now when I do time lapses, I used to use Octoprint for the time lapse, but now I just set up my camera that I use for recording and do a hyperlapse with it. So it's better quality anyways. So yeah. So, but Octoprint's fine. Like, it has all the plugins. Octoprint has a crap ton of amazing plugins, and you can't use any of them with Fluid or Mainsail. So if you need any of those plugins, use Octoprint. It's just, I don't use the plugins, so I use Fluid. How come some people say octopus is octopi? Octopi is multiple octopuses. Which Clipper, you can hook for, you know, you can take standard Raspberry Pi and hook 4 of them up. So if you need to run 40 stepper motors for whatever reason, or correction, sorry, 8, 16, 32. You need to run, no, 36. If you need to run 36 stepper motors for whatever reason, you can do that. Facts. Oh god, facts. Oh, how comes 32? Okay, whatever. Math. It's late. Duff, you're like the 8th person to ask. Yes, I'll be doing it in Rage Rabbit. Aaron, they are working on getting some plugins to work. The thing is, the way Fluid and Mainsail both function, they function directly through, shoot, what's the Clipper API called? Moonraker. They function directly through Moonraker to interact with Clipper directly. The thing is, they have a much different way of going about it. So a lot of people say, you know, Octoprint is bloaty. That's because Octoprint is running a ton of stuff in the back end to basically, I believe it's basically running a server on the Raspberry Pi, whereas Fluid and Mainsail are basically like just a web page. They are much more streamlined because they don't have to do as much. Like Octoprint can do a crap ton of stuff because it can do a bunch of stuff, whereas Fluid and Mainsail are designed basically for one singular purpose, and now you're trying to add more features into it that it originally can't support. So, yeah. In Rage Rabbit Feeder, it's a multi-filament setup, kind of like a Prusa MMU, but it's based on like Voron parts. Try and listen to stream. Oh, tiling a basement. Oh. I tiled my bathroom a couple years back. I completely gutted and redid the bathroom upstairs, and I tiled it all. That was a fun couple nights. Host Russian cat food again. Maybe I still got to drag Doc on here one day. Talk about printer tuning and PIF. The Voron pipeline. We have a pipeline. Come on. I love when people think that Voron design is much more organized than it is, because it's not. Pipeline. I heard somebody in the Discord was like, oh yeah, at their next meeting they should totally bring up this, and I'm like, meeting? Geez, half the admin chat is just memes. I don't think Doc's here right now. Doc. On a scale of 1 to 10, like it's chaotic. It's a streamlined mess. Because remember, it's a bunch of guys just designing stuff. Like, we don't always have projects on the go. A lot of times, just shooting the shit and moderating the 17,000 something people we now have in a Discord. Is Voron publicly traded? Can I get in that IPO? Nobody designates anything. So just so you know, like, anyone on the team can start designing anything they want, and it may be a Voron, it may not. Like, right now, Steve is working on the next revision of the 1.8. He just kind of started working on it, and now he's working on it. RCF is like making, I don't know, showers out of aluminum extrusions or something. I don't know what he's doing. CNC, I think. I don't know. Eddie's working on an IDEX. I was designing a CNC for a bit too, and now I kind of got sidetracked by other stuff. Like, it's kind of like it's a design group. Somebody will start working on something and everyone starts spitballing ideas. Sometimes it pans out, sometimes it doesn't. Taco Raven, we have a few guys on the team that know PCBs. We designed a full printer controller board at one point. Like, hey guys, there's no good controller boards. Let's design a controller board. And this, by the time this came out, you know, it was obsolete. So now, like, you know, there's a bunch of different stuff people are working on. The thing is, how can you go public? Everything is already public. Like, it's a GPL v3 project. Anyone can take a Voron and make a Voron and sell it. You just have to give credit to the team. That's the only rule. So, what about Redacted working on Redacted? Oh, like the cardboard box? That is Redacted. Voron bidet. Be aluminum. It'd just be aluminum extrusion and Bowden tube. Actually, we probably could with what we have in the Voron toolkit. Red Hat is a public company. Linux is. The thing is, it's also, remember, for a lot of the guys, it's Friday night. It's a weeknight or weekend night. So I don't know. Maybe I'll see who can get on the. Somebody wants to shop in the chat at some point. I know with the RCF, like, I got to figure out a proper like multi-user stream setup though, because like with RCF, we the night before we spent like half an hour trying to get the setup proper. Anyone working on an afterburner setup like Eva, so you can customize it? Well, here's the thing, like, you can download the CAD for the afterburner if you want to customize it. What is there to customize it? You have you have to use the probe, or it's one of the community clicky switch options, or soon to be official. And then you also have, like, there's already the CAD, like the models for different tool head or hot end mounts. So, yeah. There might be upgrades for it down the line. I don't know. Like, things are kind of like always in flux. Like, there's always people hammering away. That's why we don't do incremental releases often. I know some people have got angry in the past because like stuff that's being devved on isn't worked out in the public. It's because what we put out is fully tested and we're okay putting a stamp on it. We don't want to put out revisions of stuff so that we're constantly having to deal with, oh, I printed this is outdated. Why did I just printed this. Why did you change it? Yada, yada, yada. It's just easier to have like release, like have this is done, here's it, it's all done, go do whatever, it's fully tested, instead of, oh, here's the nightly build of the Afterburner upgrade 42864. Hope you bought a new fan. Like, yeah. What are the things you've seen on the board? There's no way that would work. Oh, the I can't believe that worked, and it's going to be amazing when it comes out. So. Come on, I gotta have some fun sometimes. Anyone know how to lip read? Please, I will pay money. I know how to lip read. Links in the description on how you can support the channel. I was repeating watermelon the whole time. Actually, I was going. I was doing my Porky Pig impression. It's not a very good one. Okay, the lo-fi, let's go to the synthwave. The lo-fi is getting a little, there you go. Go to some synthwave. The only other thing I could really knock on here, they use Phillips screws a lot. Like, come on guys, use like M3s or something. It'd be interesting to see if there's any Z wobble. There's no real adjustment with the, that's pretty locked in. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, so the bass I'm pretty sure is ABS. Same with the top connector here, but it's you know, honeycomb, so it's not too bad. And then everything else is like glass-filled nylon, so I don't know. Yeah, there's a few community mods of the Afterburner, and there is like a few in dev kind of public stuff, but that's all I'll say on that. I think resin. Resin I will glove. Like ABS, I have no problem being in here printing ABS all day. I work at a shop that has a 3,000 and a 4,000 ton injection mold press that pumps out an automotive fascia every minute and a half. That's 12 pounds of ABS, and we don't circulate the air, and my lungs are fine. Well, according to the government air test, my air is fine at work. But when it comes to like resin for like the resin printers, yeah, I wear gloves. That stuff will get into your skin bad. Could at least use some Robertsons. Yeah, good old Robertsons. Love me some Robertson screws. Robinson or Robertson? I can never remember which one's which. Is there a toolhead mod that takes an ADXL? The thing with K's, the problem with the ADXL, well, it's not the problem. The thing is, once you do input shaper, you could take the ADXL off and you could put it away. Like, I keep mine somewhere. Like, I just take a screw out, use a longer screw, mount it, do my input shaper, and then take it off, because you don't need it once you're done the input shaper. Talfox, €2 or £2, sorry, £2. Thank you, appreciate it. Weekly donation, build 1.8 an hour, wait. If you already have everything, you might as well build it, but if you haven't started yet, maybe wait a little bit. Just a little bit. Robertson, yeah, okay. How often do you update to the latest Clipper? Not often. I've got machines like the Clipper install on SwitchWire is actually, or no, the Clipper install on, I can't remember. This V0 is whenever I install it. If you watch me build a printer on stream and install Clipper on it, odds are I don't upgrade from that version of Clipper. I think the only one running like the latest version of Clipper is this V0. Everything else is like Clipper from either a couple weeks back or a couple months back. Which one is my favorite? If you know, the house on fire, I can only save one printer. I'm grabbing V226. That one has the most like attachment because it's been every version of the V2. I ordered the parts while my wife was in labor. I ordered the frame from assuming while my wife was in labor at the hospital. So this is my baby printer. This is the one I grab. In terms of having fun build, I will say the V0 build because it was a marathon and that was like an experience. But in terms of just like joy to build, in terms of this is fun, SwitchWire. SwitchWire is a joke to build. It goes together so easily. Yeah, usually when it comes to like upgrading Clipper, like I update Clipper when there's like a new feature that I really need. So, like I still haven't done input shaper on Tallboy yet. Why do you infill so much? Because this was default. Like this is just, it was 15% and I didn't change any of the default settings. Yeah, the V0 LDO knocked it out of the park with that kit. Like that is the closest thing to a, like that, you know, if I was a company selling that kit, I would be proud of selling that kit. It's a good kit. Because it has the wirings all pre-done, pre-cut to length, pre-crimped, everything's there. Like it's up there in terms of, like, I've never built a Prusa. But I feel like just looking at what the Prusa kit is, you know, it doesn't come with printed parts, yeah, but none of the kits do. I think it's like near that tier of a type of kit. Joseph, $25. Thank you, appreciate it. Got my first prints for my V2 yesterday. Thanks for the info and entertainment. Congrats, man. Fwifo, it's not that the V0 is complicated. You just have to be very specific in following the order of operations. And there's a few tricky parts where you're trying to like line up M3 nuts, pre-inserted nuts through plastic parts. So it's more tricky and more, I would say, tedious and complicated. It definitely is the more trickier of the builds. Yeah, LDO is gonna, okay, so the reason LDO is gonna be pre-applying the bed heater with the RTV is because the kit, I think I still have it, yeah. So the LDO kit that I have came with like all this stuff, right? It came with the RTV, it came with all this stuff. The thing is, apparently getting that through customs in some countries is a pain because it's like chemicals. So it's like sealed chemicals or something and it's causing issues. So they're gonna phase that out and just have everything like the bed come pre-applied with the RTV, and you'll have to source your own grease and Loctite and whatnot, which kind of sucks because that was nice that it came with it. But you know, if they can't get it through a border easily, it is what it is. Because again, they're doing things properly, right? So. You need Steve's M3 nut guide for the... Yeah, that was one mod I was tempted to do and I just never did. They probably won't be pre-lobing the rail. From talking to them, like my words to them were basically, these are things you should have. You should be able to get locally, no problem. And honestly, like, you should have grease on hand. Like the grease that they give you is just like, I think it's just generic TTFE grease, and it's just super, you can buy super glue at the dollar store for the amount of super glue you need. Loctite, go to the dollar store and buy a $1 thing of clear nail polish. Like grease, yeah, go get some good grease. Like, where's the stuff I used? I don't know where I put it. Yeah, like I use this stuff in my V0, white lithium spray-on grease. With the little applicator to get in the, and this is working fine, so. Any plans on adding an ABL? My bed is flat, like flat. Not even a thou. Like I think I measured a thou of difference, and I brought it to work to check it on the granite slab with an indicator. Not even a thou of difference from the highest point to the lowest point that I could find. So manual level, and it should be good. Plus, yeah, there's really no room. I do want to do some resin printing this week, though. There's a few things I want to print. Honestly, I kind of want to get a bigger resin printer now. Extend your basement. I can't. I'm not that British guy, and I can't dig tunnels in my backyard. Mono X. Yeah, I see. I have the mono, just the mono 2K, which isn't bad. Like it for, you know, the small things I have. But now I actually, like, this is the problem. I'm on Twitter and I follow people who do like prop making and stuff. And now I kind of want to start like actually, like I have a half-finished printed Iron Man mask I printed like over a year ago that I've never finished. And it's like, I kind of want to, you know, actually do it in resin because it's, you know, FDM. You can never really get properly smooth surfaces. And I kind of want to do it all in resin. It's like, this don't fit on my Mono 2K. So, yeah. One day I'll actually... I got into 3D printing to make an Iron Man mask. And to date, I have yet to make an Iron Man mask. ABS Plus is basically blended ABS that prints easier. So I use it. That's what, you know, this is ABS Plus. All my V2s, or all my Vorons except for the V1 are ABS Plus, except for Switchwire. Switchwire is just regular ABS. But everything else is ABS Plus of some sort. Usually eSun or Sparta 3D. And it's just ABS that prints a little bit easier than traditional ABS. Use spackle and fill it. Yeah, or I could just do it on a resin printer and have it done a lot easier. It's like, where's the Mando mask? Where did the Mando mask go? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Where are you? Like this guy, I made... Oh god, I printed this like a year and a half ago. So I've had this for like a year and a half. And it's been at this stage. Because I've never actually bothered finishing it. So, like, this is all... I just need to, like, sand it all. But the thing is, like, it was made in multiple parts. And, like, it doesn't quite line up perfectly. And it's annoying the hell out of me. And it's like, I'd rather do it all in one piece again now that I got Tallboy up. I did this before I had Tallboy up and running. So now that I have Tall Boy, I could print this in one piece, and then do it properly. But yeah. And then like the Iron Man helmet, the problem with the Iron Man helmet was the files that I printed it from, it printed okay, but it is very thin, and I've already cracked it several times just trying to put it together. So it does, it is like the proper, it does fit really good. The problem is like, it's very thin. And it's like not structurally sound. Like I feel like I'm gonna break it every time I touch it. I've already broken it, so. But yeah. This is all ABS, by the way. This was on a V2.2, back when that was a 2.2. So that's another thing. Like I'd like to get into that stuff more, because that's why I originally got into 3D printing, was to do, I wanted an Iron Man mask, and I've never done one. So I would like to actually get into that, so I can actually, you know, make videos on prop making and whatnot, because that's why I got into the hobby. And then I ended up falling into Voron, and now 3D printers are my 3D printing hobby. So. If you don't print with the recommended settings, so that's 0.2 layer height, 0.4 nozzle, for the most part, you should be okay. Like I have a bunch of parts on Tallboy are printed with a 0.6 nozzle. The thing is, everything is designed with those dimensions in mind. So when it comes to like locations of things, everything's meant to be like at a 0.2 divisible height. Same with your nozzle. Everything's based around having those. Some parts it doesn't matter as much anymore. With like the 2.2, with all the parts that screw together, it was a bigger issue. Now, because there's not as many parts, because we rely a lot more on heat set inserts for one, you're not screwing into plastic a lot, it's not that big of an issue. So if you want to print your parts in like a 0.6 nozzle, yeah, 0.3 layer height for most of the bigger parts you should be okay with as well. If in doubt, print a part, try it out. Okay, so we got 10 minutes left. Yeah, we got 10 minutes left, so I don't know, open floor, QA, if anyone's got any questions about anything. I've had a drink, so whatever. If in doubt, try it out, and then when it comes to Voron builds, build within your skill. Because, we recommend you stick to the manual, but if you know what you're doing, have at her. Have I seen the Voron-inspired belted Z mod for the Ender 3? I think I have. Remember seeing something like that a while ago. It was cool. I have no skill, but I want to build one anyway. Is there a Moron kit? Sit in the flea market on the Voron Discord and hope somebody sells a completed Voron. Honestly, the easiest kit to build from, you know, it's the more complicated build, is the V0, the LDO kit, because it comes with a lot of the electronics pre-done. Honestly, the easiest Voron to build is a switch wire. That is the easiest, simplest Voron to build. Yeah. Okay, so for the Voron Twitter is run by somebody on the team. However, it is not Russian cat food. somebody grabbed it on the team like a while back just so we had it, and then he started posting on it, but it's...
Build a Voron using the manual alone? I often see you referring to the F360 files.
Derek, $5, thank you. I'll get to that in a second. So yeah, so the Voron Twitter is run by a member on the team, but it's not RCF. It's a think of it more of a community. Like for the most part, all we use that for is just sharing like community prints and whatnot and builds. You can build a Voron from the manuals alone. The newer manuals are easier than the older ones, but having the CAD open is helpful just for reference. It's always nice to look at the bigger picture sometimes. Look into DIY injection molding. I have an 80-pound injection mold in my garage that I built in shop class. It is possible. The thing is, when it comes to you injection mold something when you want to mass produce something. What do I need to mass produce? I don't need to mass produce anything. So if I were to build it, it'd probably be good content for a video or several videos. But I personally would have no need of that machine. Having some problems with first layer bonding to second layer. Sticks to plate, not second layer. What plastics, what temperature, what print bed. You might be sticking your first layer a little too much to the bed, and it might be ripping off when you go to take it off. So like if your first layer to bed adhesion is more than your first layer to second layer adhesion, something's gonna fail. Is the afterburner Hotend interpolation true or false? What? That makes no sense. Like the extruder you can run with interpolation, but the Hotend, what? Take care, Andrew. Does the Omron style bed probe? Okay, so the Omron probe is inductive. You need a metallic bed, so flex plate works fine. That's what I use. If it's just like the magnetic, where it's just a magnet with like a build tack type material on it, it won't work. Someone made CAD viewer web app now. Oh yes, I've seen that floating around on the Discord. That's pretty cool. Is there a benefit of Core XZ? The reason I ask is usually... Okay, so the reason Core XZ is cool, it's cheaper than a dual integrated Z screw traditional. So it's a cheaper Z system than a Prusa, where you have 2 integrated Z lead screw motors, and then you have an additional X motor. This is 2 motors and belts and bearings. It's cheaper. It's faster. So if you run with Z hop, it's faster. Now, at first you're like, oh, you're only moving 0.4 millimeters. Yes, but if you can cut that move down by a half or more, times, you know, times 1.6 million times, or however many bloody Z hops were in this print, it adds up to a decent time savings. 3, it allows you to run a first layer bed mesh without any additional noise, because you're not going to have those Z motors constantly doing the to adjust for like a minute change in Z layer, because both your motors are always consistently running. Yeah, so it tons of benefits, no real downside, because we have the keyback to prevent it from falling. 1.9 will come when it's done. 2.5 is a number. Injection molding a benchy would absolutely be insane when it comes to designing the mold for that, due to the undercuts. And yeah, you would... That's the thing a lot of people don't realize. Like when you design something like this, this is a part that came out of an injection mold. There is so many things you have to think about when you are designing a part for an injection mold. If you try to, design this part for injection molding, you'd have to redesign the whole part. This you cannot injection mold this part as is. So yeah, you're not doing a 15-second benchy, because one, cycle time with most plastics is actually around a minute and a half. 2, the mold would be insane to get all the undercuts. So you would need slides, hook slides, lifters, retractor. Ooh, yeah, ooh. Near the end of my V2 build, just have to do the wiring in the bottom, the best wire running under the power supply. Do you see any problem with this? If you have questions about wiring, take a look on the Voron Discord in the Voron Builds channel. A lot of people have posted pictures of their wiring layouts, and that should give you some ideas. Little Mike, yeah, you can build a 2.4 safely now. Like, you wouldn't have to worry about much. Remember, the Voron team, we keep a Voron toolkit of parts. So whenever we're designing an upgrade or a revision, we always try to use the same parts to keep having to buy like minimal or new parts to a minimal. So like you notice if you look across all the Vorons, they all use the same size screws for the most part. Very rarely do you see like a random size screw length. We do that on purpose. If you're stranger, if you're talking about the Integra, where he built like the nozzle engines, the rocket engines out of printing metal, I have looked into that. That's cool. That's not something I would ever I need. So I don't have a kiln, so that's not really something. Injection mold for a benchy would be the same as a capstan Voron. Daniel, it's called a switch wire because it was originally capstan. We've tried capstan. Don't ever make a printer with capstan. It's a nightmare. RCF would have plenty of stories about that. That's why it's called a switch wire, because it was originally wire drive. Currently 74 in PIF queue. Is it allowed to request more than one set? Gary, one set for PIF, because you get your one set from PIF, you build your Voron, and then you can print your other parts. So you can't unfortunately request multiple parts or multiple kits, because every Voron can print every functional part, even the V0. So if you requested a V0, if you only have a V0, you can print every functional part you need to build a V2. The only thing you won't be able to print are like the skirts, which you can print once you build the printer. Yeah, should never disable Z. Honestly, there are times when you do want to disable Z top. It's not often. I run it all the time, but I come from like a machining background, right? Like a Bridgeport. When you're cutting something on a mill or a CNC machine and you got a cutter, you never drag your cutter across the workpiece when you're traveling. So why would you do that with your nozzle on a print? Spider or octopus? Octopus. The Spider is a good board on paper. I like it. I have one in my V2 here. I haven't had any issues with it. However, I'm seeing way too many cases of QC issues and failing boards to recommend it, unfortunately. So go with the octopus. And it's 11. So we are going to let the print finish. I'll post pictures in the morning on my Twitter. So if you're not following me on Twitter at 3DPNero, hit me up there. I'll post pictures. TLDR, for those that are watching this in the future and skip to the very end, it's not bad. Yes, it's a lot of plastic. But the plastic that needs to be good plastic is good plastic in the places it needs to be. I have one short wire for some reason, but that can be fixed. I was able to tighten up the tool head. Yeah, it's got a clicky bed, but you know what? It bed leveled fine, and I'm not seeing any issues in the prints from it. Yeah, I don't know. Stepper MOSFETs. Your octopus came with 2 faulty MOSFETs. Make sure you bring that, if you're on the Voron Discord, bring that up in the Big Tree Tech channel. That's the first time I've actually heard of any issues with that board, so. But I have heard of many failures of the FiZac board, unfortunately, which sucks because, you know, they spoke to us and like, hey, it has a Voron logo on it. But we just saw the specs. We didn't see like the actual production boards until they were already out and failing. So it is what it is. Do I know of a hand tool that is dedicated to cut screws like those around the center of wire strippers? Oh, for like cutting screws, like not off the top of my head. Really strong snips, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. FiZac has always been terrible. He has the best 29 express, and we have the solder bridges too small. The spider, the octopus has nice terminals. Like here's the thing, FiZac. Where is it? I have a FiZac Duet. So this is the controller that was in V226 for damn near 3 years, and it performed flawlessly. Now, granted, it's a Duet 2 clone, but Duet 2 is open source, so anyone can make one. So it's a alternatively manufactured Duet, but it's a FiZac, and I never had issues with it. So, and you know, sample case of one, my spider's working fine, but I've seen too many other people have issues with it to recommend them. Have I seen the Mingda direct drive extruders? 3 different types? No. So from what I'm trying to figure out Mingda as a company, because they have a few different printers. Like they have the Rock series, which are Ender clones. Like these are all, I wouldn't say Ender clones, but they're all V-Wheel i3s. So they have a resin printer. They also have some really big, like, Magician series. They only have one in that series. D series. I don't know. I think they used to do, like, I've seen they have some big printers, like large format ones. So I don't know if they started off with like more commercial printers, but yeah. Okay, so I'm tired. I'm gonna go have a snack. Yeah. Thank you for enjoying the stream tonight. For all those that donated to the channel, thank you for helping support the things I do and the content I create. For those that just, you know, hung out, you guys are also awesome because you helped keep me company, or hopefully I provided you with some entertainment or information or something. Because not only do we build stuff, we talk and we learn together on these wonderful streams. Another huge shout out to Thangs for sponsoring the show tonight. If you want to get, did my son take it? I don't know where I put it. If you want to get one of those awesome collapsing katanas, this one doesn't collapse because it broke, and my son broke the other one. But if you want to get one of your own, link in the description below. So make sure you go check that out. Create an account on Thangs, get some Thangs. And I was playing around with the augmented reality thing earlier today. It actually is pretty cool. So try that out on your smartphone. The Mingda Magician. I don't think it's that bad. I'm gonna put some time onto it. I'm gonna print. I want to put a long print on this. I'm gonna print something that's a day plus print on it tomorrow. I'll get something going, and we'll see how it handles long term. Because I know Joel and Chris's basement had not the greatest words to say about it. It really depends on its price point. Whatever, if you can get this for like $250, that ain't bad. But if this is like a $400 printer, there's better options. It really depends on how much this printer ends up being, will dictate if this is worth it. Because it's metal where it needs to be metal. The plastic where it is plastic is the right plastic at least. And yeah, is what it is. So have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Apparently everything's going back to shit in the States, so make sure you wash your hands. And cheers. Did I hit the wrong button? I hit the wrong button.